Hey guys, welcome back to Astro Divine. Today we are going to be talking about the transit of planet Venus into the sign of Cancer. This is going to be taking place from 30th May and it is going to last till the 7th of July. So, almost for the month of June, you can consider that Venus is going to be transiting in the sign of Cancer. So, we will discuss what exactly the results are going to be for all the 12 rising signs. You can also consider looking at your moon sign as well. If you have different ascendant and moon signs, please make sure to watch both the signs and you can see which one resonates more. So let's start off with understanding the planet Venus. So what is Venus? In a man's chart, Venus rules the wife. Venus is also the liquid cash, and Venus also rules all the fine things in life. It is about money, it is about beauty, it is about fine dining. So all the finer things in life is represented by Venus. In terms of how Venus does in Cancer, Venus is not like extremely comfortable in Cancer, but although the water element, since Venus is a water element planet and Cancer is also a water element sign, so that is where this transit is going to bring out a lot of really nice emotional quotient in terms of the living significations of Venus. So yeah, let's dive right into it. For all my Aries friends, this is for Aries moon sign and Aries ascendants as well. Venus, being the lord of the second and the seventh house, is going to be transiting in the fourth house. So, what is the second house? Second house is your value system. Second house is actually what you value. So, in the earlier period, people used to value their crops and the food they eat, and now in the current day and the current scheme of things, it is the cash, the liquid money that all the people value. So, since second lord is going into the fourth house, this is the time where you're going to be valuing your time with your mother. This is the time where you will have really nice family connections. You might have a family get together. This is also a time where you might desire moving into a larger home, or you would want to shift into a bigger apartment or a luxury apartment. You would want a bigger car as well. So, those are the things that are seen from this transit. Being the seventh lord going into the fourth house, this is a time where, since seventh lord is your relationship with the world, it is also your spouse. So, seventh lord coming into the fourth house, having directional strength, this is a time where your mom and your spouse will have a really nice time. This is going to be good for your family bonding, and since it is looking at the 10th house, this is a time where you would want all your due recognition for the work that you have done. So overall, it is a really good transit for Aries ascendant and moon sign folks. For all my Taurus ascendant and Taurus moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the ascendant and Venus is the lord of the sixth house, because that is where the Taurus and Libra sign falls. So, Venus, being the lord of the ascendant and sixth house, is going to be transiting in your third house. So, Lord of the Ascendant transiting the third house, this is a time where you would take new initiatives. Since third house is the house of your new initiatives. It is the house of taking action. It is the house of your hobbies as well. So all these activities will get a boost because it is your ascendant lord that is transiting into the third house. So what are the Venus type of hobbies, Venusian hobbies? This represents any sort of learning new music, You could also go on a sort of a short distance drive with your girlfriend or with your wife. So you could also pick up any hobby, doing it together with your wife or your girlfriend. So that is also something that can be seen. And Venus is also the sixth lord. Sixth lord is actually the house that represents your daily routines. Since the lord of the sixth house is coming into the third house, this is a time where you might have a sort of a rift or a clash with your sibling, especially if that is a female sibling of yours. This is a time where the sibling has to be careful about their health as well. On a more positive note, this is a time where you can take your pets on a ride. You could probably go on a long drive and you could have your pet with you, and that is going to be, you'll have a fantastic time. So that is also possible for all the Taurus ascendant and moon sign friends. And from the third house, Venus is going to be Venus is going to be aspecting the ninth house. So there will be a desire for higher learning and travel. So you have to be careful about that as well. So overall, it is a semi decent transit for the Taurus folks. For all my Gemini ascendant and Gemini moon sign friends, Venus is the 12th and the 5th lord, and it is going to be transiting in your second house. So, Venus, since it is the 5th lord, it is the only Yoga Karaka for you. So, Venus becomes a very, very important planet for all the Gemini folks. And since it is the 12th lord transiting in your second house, I have seen a lot of Gemini ascendant friends having some tooth issues and having to go to the hospital because of the tooth issues. It might be related to some root canal, or it might be also related to getting your tooth cleaned, all that sort of stuff, right? So it basically shows that you're going to spend some of your money on making your face, teeth, and all those things look a lot better. So that is what we can see from Venus being the 12th lord transiting into the second house. Venus is also your fifth lord, and that is going to be transiting in your second house. So this is a time where your children might need your attention, or your children is something that will come to your forefront, and you'll value your time with your children. So being the fifth lord transiting into the second house, this is also a dhani yoga that is forming in the transit. So this is a case where you can use anything that you're passionate about to make money. In this case, that could be something related to the real estate, something related to the transport industry, and something related to the hospitality sector, since it is Venus and the sign of Cancer. So there's a lot of feminine energy in here. So this is a time where you'll also have a good connection with your mother. So all in all, it is fairly above average transit for my Gemini friends, and I wish them all the best. For all my Cancer ascendant and Cancer moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the 11th house and the lord of the 4th house, and it is going to be transiting in the ascendant itself, that is Cancer. Being the lord of the 11th house transiting in the ascendant, this is a fantastic Raj Yoga for you that is happening in the sky currently. Since Venus is the lord of the 11th house transiting in the ascendant, this is a case where you might receive a long due promotion, any sort of recognition, name, fame, prosperity that was due will come your way at this point of time. This is also a time where you will use your network circle, or you'll use your social circle to your advantage. And there's also a time where you might get a little bit of fame, or a lot of fame, based on what your birth chart promises. So 11th lord transiting in the ascendant, this is a really good time for you guys. Venus is also the fourth lord, and that is transiting in your ascendant. So this is a time where you'll have good connection with your mother. This is also a time where you will desire to stay at home. You might try to make your home a lot more comfortable, or you might buy certain things that make you comfortable. This could be as simple as buying yourself new clothes, buying yourself new pair of jeans and new shoes, stuff like that, that could make you more comfortable, at the same time make you look a little bit more fashionable. These are all the sort of things that Venus does in the ascendant. Venus is going to be aspecting the seventh house, and this aspect talks about your desire to have very harmonious relationships. So if you have any sort of rift going on with your spouse, this is a transit that is going to heal almost all issues that is going on in your relationships. So make sure to check if you are running Venus Dasha or Antardasha. The results are going to be even more profound. Yeah, it is a very positive transit for my Cancer friends, and I wish them all the best. For all my Leo ascendant and Leo moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the third and 10th house, and that is going to be transiting in your 12th house. Being the lord of the 10th house transiting in the 12th house, this is a classic case where you have to travel for your work. Maybe there is a new posting on the way, or you have to travel to foreign land in order to probably give a presentation or things like that. So this is a classic case where you have to travel for your work, and since the third lord is transiting in the 12th house, there might be some issues with your sibling. This is a case where you have to let go of any issues with your siblings. I would My personal suggestion here would be that don't hold on to any grudges with your siblings. Since it is transiting in the 12th house, 12th house is the house where you let things go. It doesn't mean that you're losing, but in a way you have to lose a smaller battle to in order to win the war. So that is a sort of mindset you would need to have with your siblings and your peers as well. So overall, this is in order to utilize this transit, if there is any short distance or long distance travel that is coming up in your schedule, please take it up, and I wish all my Leo ascendant and moon sign friends all the very best for this transit. For all my Virgo ascendant and Virgo moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the ninth and the second house, and it is going to be transiting in the 11th house. Cancer falls in the 11th house for the Virgo ascendants, and that is where Venus is going to be transiting. 11th house is the house of fulfillment of desires, and all your gains, recognition, network circle. So in the Kali Yuga, whatever is very important to people, that is what the 11th house rules. And Venus, being one of the most materialistic planets, is going to be transiting in the 11th house. So this is a fantastic transit for all my Virgo ascendant friends. Since Venus is the lord of the second house, transiting in the 11th house, this is a classic Dhan Yoga and one of the strongest Dhan Yogas that is forming in the transit right now. Since Venus is the lord of the second house, transiting in the 11th house, any recognition that is due will get fulfilled. If you desire to get a promotion or a pay rise, this is the right time to ask for it. Since it is the lord of the second house transiting in the 11th house, this is a time where you might earn some extra income through various other means. Venus is also the lord of the ninth house transiting in the 11th house. So this is a time where since the ninth house rules the luck or the bhagyasthana, and the Lord of the ninth house is going to be transiting in the 11th house. So the luck is going to be by your side if you do the due diligence, and if there is any piece of work you have to do where a little bit of luck is involved, it might turn in your favor at this point of time. This is a point of time where all the Virgo ascendant and moon sign friends will get complete support of their families and also their elder siblings, since the 11th house rules the elder siblings. Since the ninth house is also coming into aid here, many Virgo ascendant people will solve all their issues with their fathers. This is a classic time for really good family bonding, and almost most of their family coming into their favor. So this is a really good time for Virgo ascendant and moon sign friends, and I wish them all the best. For all my Libra ascendant and Libra moon sign friends, Venus is your ascendant lord, and Venus is also your 8th house lord. And Venus is going to be transiting in the 10th house. It is one of the most important house, it is one of the most important kendras. That is the 10th house. It is the karmasthana, the place of your battles, where you go and fight your battles. That is basically your workplace. Since Venus, being the lord of the ascendant and 8th house, that is going to be transiting in the 10th house, it is pretty much clear that your work is going to be out in the public. It is going to be out in the public for scrutiny as well. Since it is the 8th lord, your Libra folks here might be a little bit careful, or they need to be a little bit careful, because there might be some transformations at the workplace that would finally result in you coming up trumps and having some recognition for yourself. So that is what this transit is about. Since Venus is your ascendant lord, it is going to bring some extra responsibilities onto you. So the only thing that you need to be careful is about any hidden agendas of your bosses. If they are against you or anything like that, that is when this transit is going to turn against your favor. But make sure that you have done things pretty much right, and follow a dharmic path in order for you to succeed in this case. And I wish my Libra ascendant and moon sign friends all the best for this transit. For all my Scorpio ascendant and Scorpio moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the 7th house, and Venus is also the lord of the 12th house, and that is transiting in the ninth house. Ninth house is the house of Bhagya, and Venus transiting here might get things into your favor in terms of whatever effort that you're putting in, where there is some scope for luck that is involved. All those works might turn into your favor, and you might get lucky in terms of certain breakthroughs. Maybe if there is you're looking for a place change, or maybe your wife is working somewhere else and you want her to sort of shift with you. This is a sort of time where the role of luck will be involved, and things will turn into your favor. Since Venus is the lord of the 7th house transiting into the ninth house, this is a time where you might take your wife or your girlfriend with your mother to a long pilgrimage. These sort of things are foreseen. This is also a transit where your wife might enroll in order to learn some new skills, because Venus is transiting third from the seventh house being your spouse, and third from seventh house being the skills of your spouse. So he or she might enroll for some new courses. Venus is also the lord of the 12th house, that is transiting in the ninth house. So you need to be careful in terms of your father's health. Overall, this is average transit for Scorpio folks. So I wish you all the best. For all my Sagittarius ascendant and moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the 6th and the 11th house, and that is going to be transiting in your 8th house. 8th house is the house of sudden transformations, it is also the house of other people's money. So, how you have to look at this is the ascendant is yourself, and what you earn is the second house, and your spouse is the seventh house, and second from the seventh house becomes the eighth house. So that is what your spouse earns. So that is how you can call it other people's money. This is also seen for inheritance as well. So since Venus being the 11th lord is transiting into the 8th house, this is not, I wouldn't say that this is one of the best transits for Sagittarius ascendants. This is a case where you might have some issues with your regular income, or there might be a sudden downfall in your income, or it could be the other way around. You have to see the Ashtakavarga score that is coming into the 8th house. This is a phase where you might get sudden inheritance as well. That is also foreseen. Venus being the lord of the 6th house transiting into the 8th house, this is where you have to be a little bit careful with your health, especially the lower region of your body. I would advise all the Sagittarius ascendant and moon sign folks to be careful about their health. For all the Capricorn moon sign and ascendant folks, Venus is the 5th and the 10th lord, and it is going to be transiting in your 7th house. Being the 5th lord transiting in the 7th house, this is a really good transit for all the people who decide to get married. This is a classic case where you are in a relationship with a woman, or your relationship with a guy, and you would want to convert that into a you'd want to sort of bring them to your parents and get into a wedlock sort of situation, right? So this is a really good transit for that. So this is a time where all such activities will come into fruition, and you'd be really successful in those matters. This is a time where your relationship with your kids will also improve. So you need to look out for that as well. Venus is also the 10th lord, and it is coming into the 7th house. Venus being the 10th lord, when it comes into the 7th house, this is a time where you would be perceived as a very charismatic and charming individual at your workplace. If you have to go on any sort of travel and represent your company, or if you are into sales and any such positions, this is going to be really working fantastically well for you, where you would be perceived as a very charming individual, and you could get your work done through your charm and wit. So this is a really fantastic transit for all the Capricorn ascendant folks, and this is also a time where you might receive a long due promotion, because 7th house is the higher form of the 10th house, which is the Bhavat Bhavam of the 10th house, since it is 10th from the 10th house. So this is also a very good transit for your promotion, and I wish all my Capricorn ascendant folks best of luck. For all my Aquarius ascendant and moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the 4th house and the 9th house, and it is going to be transiting into the 6th house. So 6th house is the natural house of Virgo, and that is where Venus gets debilitated, and this is not a very welcome place for Venus to be in. But basically what is going to happen is, this is a transit where you need to be careful about your mother's and father's health. Since Venus is the 4th lord and 9th lord going into the 6th house, this might bring up some health issues for your parents. This is, if at all there is no such health issues, this is going to be a time where you will heal most of your issues or disputes with your parents. This is also a fantastic transit for those of you who have taken loans and who are in debts. You might get your parents' help in order to resolve these loans or debt issues. This is also a transit that might bring in some discipline in order for you to look a little bit more attractive. So if you're sort of a middle-aged person and you have been sort of stuck in a rut and you don't have a routine going for yourself, so this transit, Venus coming into the sixth house, might spark something in you, and you might start working out. You might take the gym membership in order to look a lot more appealing. So this is one of the positive sides of the transit, but I would say that this is a transit that is not so welcome. Overall, the only positive I can see here is for you to get rid of your debts. I wish all my Aquarius ascendant and moon sign friends all the very best for this transit. For all my Pisces ascendant and Pisces moon sign friends, Venus is the lord of the third and the eighth house, and it is going to be transiting in the fifth house of Cancer. Since Venus is the third lord here and transiting in the fifth house, so all the people who are looking for a certification or a sort of acquiring new skills in order to help expand their network circle or their salary, this is a really good transit for them. So if you're someone who is sort of learning to acquire new skills and probably put that on your resume and look for new jobs, this is a fantastic transit for that. And Venus is also the lord of the eighth house, and it is going to be transiting in the fifth house. So this is a time where you need to be a little bit careful about your children's health. Eighth house is sudden events that are happening, so you need to sort of take care of your children at this point of time. Venus is also the third lord, so you need to be. This already shows that you're going to have to put some sort of effort for your children, since Venus is transiting in the fifth house. Overall, this is a decent transit for Pisces ascendant and moon sign folks, and I wish them all the very best.